This is a bit of a longer video, but we do recommend giving this a watch. It's pretty important. It's what to do if you find some of the games either aren't running as well as they should be or just aren't running at all. Let's take a look. So this video applies to both consoles. As I've said before, both of these hold nearly 12,000 different games. I do not have enough time on this earth to test out each of these 12,000 different games. It's just not feasible. You wouldn't get this until next year if I was to do that. So I can't unfortunately do that. I've tested them as much as I can, but some of them unfortunately may have slipped through the cracks. Let's have a look at what you can do if this happens. So first I'm going to choose an example where the game isn't running too well. This is A Bug's Life for Nintendo 64. I've already fixed this, but I've kind of set it back just to show you what I mean. So let's open this up and have a look and see what this was doing before. So this is what I was talking about here. So this is A Bug's Life for Nintendo 64. And what it was doing before was it was kind of jittery, a bit lagging. If you listen to the audio, it was kind of doing that. Not great. Not really good. So these are a few things you can try. First thing, if you want, I don't know really if it'll make much difference because this can get a bit confusing. You can go into the menu. So holding M and pressing X brings you into this menu here, and you can tweak some different settings if you know what you're doing. I don't really think this would be a viable solution. This can get a bit confusing, so I'm going to show you what to do instead, which I found works a bit better if a fix works for this. So we're going to quit out of the game with our menu and start, and then making sure that the game is highlighted, we're going to press our select button here. We're going to go to assign core, and we're going to change. This is basically the software that runs the game. These come with a few different options for each console. So I'm going to find Nintendo 64 here. I'm going to open it up. So this one is what it's set to. But as you can see, there's other ones here that we can try. Now I've already done this, but you can try out each of them if you're running into different issues, see which one works best for you. I know which one works best already because I've done this. So I'm going to set it up to this one here. Turn it on. And that's changed the software now that's going to run this. So let's open up the game again and see how it looks. And look at that, so much better. And the sound is all good as well. Here's another one we can take a look at. So this is the PSP here. And some games, when you hit areas where there's, say, a lot happening, can kind of freeze up and lag a small bit, and the sound you might be able to hear there, not great. So here's what we can do for PSP. We're going to press menu. That brings up a different looking menu here, a bit easier to go around. From here we're going to go across to our settings, press B, which this thinks it's X, so we're going to press that, and then we're going to go down to, these are some of our video settings here. So the main one really that will fix kind of issues like these is something called frame skip. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that to 1, and we're going to turn on auto frame skip. And what that does is when the game, and I'm pretty sure that the actual console does this as well, is when there's a lot happening and a lot of processing power is needed, to avoid kind of jitteriness like that, it skips a frame. But you literally do not notice it. So I'll show you the difference there. It's so much better. There we go. And the audio, much better. Let's get out of that. So those are some fixes you can try. However, unfortunately, it might not work for all of them. If you run into this, there are maybe the odd one or two that just won't work altogether. Unfortunately, not much I can do for kind of combing those out, sort through them as best as I can. I may have missed one or two may have slipped through the cracks. We're talking about 12,000 different things here. So I'll just show you an example of one here. So this is Dino Crisis on the PS1. And I only kind of found this out recently. And I must try and delete all these before these get launched. So the game actually opens up on this one. However, it stays on this screen and doesn't go anywhere else. Oh, such a shame. Looks like a bad ROM. Not much you can do there, unfortunately. There might be one or two of these sort of types lurking around. You can try and change the core and change some of the settings. However, with some of them, unfortunately, they've slipped through the cracks, I'm afraid. So we're going to back out of that. And that's a game that we can't really do anything with. So what we can do, just to not run into it again, is we can go back, completely back, go to our apps, go to our archive manager, which is the top one here. I'm going to go to, sorry, not archive manager, we're going to go to Commander. This brings up like a little file explorer there. We're going to find our SD card over on the other side for SD2, which is where all your games are saved. Open that up, go into our ROMs, find PS1, which is all the way down here, saved under PSX. Find our game, Dino Crisis. We're going to press X, and we're going to go to delete. Press A to confirm, and again, and that gets rid of it from the list, just so you don't run into it again. So, sorry if this is a bit of a longer video, a bit of an overload of information, I'm sure. Obviously, if you have any questions or if you need a hand with any of this at all, the great thing about these is that we will stand over them. We will give you support. You have a year's guarantee with us, so you can come back to us and we'll look after you. We'll help you out with troubleshooting, that sort of thing. But as I've said, 12,000 different things on there. I couldn't test all of them. There's no possible way I could have done that. So a few of them might have slipped through the cracks. But hopefully this video has served to give some clarification on things you can try and what to do if this happens. Thanks.